What is up? Boy, preseason games are happening, training camp is happening, and World of Matchups, as always, is on top of all things NFL. Today, coming to you guys live and direct with World of Matchups top 10 hot takes for the 2022-2023 National Football League season. Starting with number one, Derek Carr will be MVP. I know y'all don't want to hear this. I think it's kind of crazy that I'm even hopping on the Carr bandwagon because I don't think Carr is a very good quarterback. But a lot of people have forgotten that Carr almost had an MVP season the year he broke his leg, I think it was. And he would have won MVP that year. And the team that they have constructed around Carr is loaded with weapons. Davante Adams, the Fresno State connection will be great. Zamir White will be really good. I like that draft pick. Josh Jacobs is still good. They're not going to get rid of him. Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow. AFC West is going to be a dogfight every week. They're going to have to throw to stay in games because the back end of that secondary is average at best. It is not out of the realm of possibility that this happens. Don't sleep on Derek Carr being a productive member of society of the National Football League. He's not just a good guy. He's got a big arm this year. I love Carr this year. I can't even believe I'm saying it, but I think he can be a hot take MVP candidate. So that is my number one. Number two, the Seattle Seahawks are going to win 0 games. I already talked to him about them on the breakdown already. I cannot see a win that they're going to get if they decide to keep either Drew Lock or Geno Smith. This team needs Jimmy G in the worst way. And if they don't trade for this guy, they're going to tank. They're going to tank hard. Pete Carroll is an outdated coach. Their weapons are going to be neutralized on the outside. They're not going to score a whole lot of points, and they're not going to win a whole lot of games. It wouldn't shock me to see them win 0 games going into this year. Number 3, Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick, and Andy Reid all retire at season's end. These guys are getting up there in age, especially the double B. I just talked about Pete Carroll being pretty much outdated at this point. I think the Patriots are going to have the worst team they have had under Bill Belichick in about 20 years, and it's just going to wear on them. I think the Dolphins will be better than New England. The Bills will be better than New England. I think Seattle's going to win no games. And now here, Kansas City, that's the tricky one because Andy Reid says he wants to coach. However, that AFC West is going to be a bloodbath this year. It's a murderer's row, and it just might be too much for Andy Reid to deal with. The defense isn't that great. Tyreek is gone. If everything breaks wrong, I could see all 3 of these guys hanging it up. Number 4, Javonte Williams. Pookie will lead the NFL in rushings. I don't hear nothing about Melvin Gordon. You pundits don't know what you're talking about. This kid breaks more tackles than anyone since Barry Sanders. He's an absolute football god in the making, waiting to happen. And if Nathaniel Hackett decides to finally pull his head out of his ass and not make this some kind of committee, you are going to see Javonte Williams go absolutely scorched earth on the NFL. This guy is a house on fire. He is a running back 1 waiting to happen. Next year, you mark this down, people. He will be the first pick in all your fantasy drafts. This kid is a stud waiting to go off. If they give him the full complement of touches, he will lead the National Football League in rushing. Next, the Dallas Cowboys will not make the playoffs. Dallas is in bad shape. Jerry Jones needs to give it up. Give up the reins already. We all know that Sean Payton is on his way there. Mike McCarthy is a horrible football coach. Horrendous. They did not get better. Everyone is not going to see the fact that CeeDee Lamb cannot carry this team by himself. Dalton Schultz is preparing to hold out, and even if he doesn't hold out, Michael Gallup, Dylan Tolbert, I'm not so sure about this. They have nobody that can rush the passer, really. They're going to double Micah Parsons. Everybody in the NFC East is going to get better. I could see this team easily missing the playoffs. Conversely, I think the New Orleans Saints will make the playoffs. A team that now might have Alvin Kamara for the entire season because of the lawyers, and that team is kicking that can all the way down to next year. He's not going to get suspended. He's going to play the full year. He's going to get his full complement of touches. Michael Thomas will be good, although he won't be the Michael Thomas of old, and that team will make the playoffs. Hot takes going up and going down for those two teams. Next, Tom Brady will not finish the season. Look, this cannot go on forever. He's 45 years old. There's all kinds of dissension happening in Tampa. Playoff Lenny is Cheeseburger Lenny. Mike Evans with the hamstring. Chris Godwin with the ACL. The offensive line is not as good as they used to be. I see this guy potentially getting hurt, and you will find him finally saying, I'm freaking done with this, and he will hang it up. Hot take number 7. Christian McCaffrey will be traded to a contender at some point this year. That's all Carolina has, and if he can show that he can stay healthy up until the trading deadline, he'll be gone. Somebody will give Carolina way more than he's worth, and they will just have to be forced to take that money, take that capital, take those picks, take whatever players come in return. I cannot see Christian McCaffrey being a Carolina Panther much longer. I thought he was going to be gone by the draft, but they hung on to him. Hot take number 7. He is going to be gone this year. Number 8. Kyler Murray outrushes Lamar Jackson this year. Lamar wants that contract. Neither one of them are even running as much as they used to, but I have a funny feeling that offensive line is going to break down for Kyler Murray, and he's going to be running for his life. The whole mess that Arizona's in right now, I think Cliff Kingsbury is on his last legs. The system that they've implemented for Kyler Murray does not include being a pocket passer. No DeAndre Hopkins. I'm not a big Marquise Brown fan. Zach Ertz is much older. In order to score, he'll have some help from those guys, but he's going to be running more than he needs to. Conversely, Lamar, wanting to stay healthy for that big contract, he's got no one to throw to either, but I can easily see a world where Kyler Murray takes off more than Lamar, out-touchdowns Lamar, and out-rushes Lamar. Hot take number 9. Every single AFC West team will win 10 games. This is the real murderer's row. This is the best division in all of football. Nobody can talk me off that. Any one of these teams can win the division or lose the division, but I'm here to tell you every single one of these teams will win 10 games. The Raiders will, the Chiefs definitely will, the Chargers will, and the Broncos will. And to wrap up World of Matchups, 10 hot takes going into the NFL season. We have the Detroit Lions will cover more spreads this year in the NFL than any other NFL team. Go look at their schedule. You know their offense got better. Goff is a stiff, but they got ballers around him. Watch out for them. And I like over 6.5 wins for them. Book it, because that is definitely happening. Scare money don't make money. You've been watching Dexter Reed and World of Matchups. 10 best hot takes going for the 2022-2023 season. Like, subscribe to World of Matchups. Check us out at grabit.com, YouTube, and we appreciate all the love you've been giving us on social media. And I'm out.